What is up, Pixel people? I'm Rob, the co-founder and CEO of Pixel Press, the creators of Bloxels, and today we're going to be talking about some resources that we have for remote learning. We have some new resources as well as some old resources that you might just not know about yet. So this video is going to be primarily aimed at educators and students using Bloxels for distance learning, which is something that we're all doing right now. First, if you're not aware of it, the EDU Hub is a place for educators to collate and aggregate all of the information about their students, the games, the art, everything that they're making, and track their progress. It's also a resource center for activities as well as handbooks, workbooks, and things like that. In fact, you might be watching this video in the Hub right now, which would be pretty meta. Secondly, if you're not aware, we do have a tutorials page. The tutorial page has tutorials for everything from the Educator Hub to the app, getting started, as well as deep dives into some of the specific features that we have. The tutorials have been updated for 2.0, so they're all up to date and they've got all the newest information. You should definitely check out the tutorial page if you have any questions, thoughts, or you really just want to get some inspiration on how to use the app in various ways. A really popular way for people to build video games is through something called a game jam. And what this does is it creates constraints around building video games, whether it's time constraint, theme, groups, anything like that, and we have created a resource just to explain how you can do this with Bloxels. Game jams combine a theme and a time constraint to get teams creatively challenged to make a video game together. They can last a few hours, a few days, or more. Game jams are a more popular way to learn game development, and increasingly game jams are virtual, online activities. So we have this page that outlines exactly how to get a game jam set up, from getting prepared, picking a theme, to assigning teams and assigning roles within those teams. The EDU Hub, which we already discussed, is actually a great way to moderate these game jams. You can actually have your class set up, have your students playing, and see their progress along the way. You can have one student building heroes as well as another student building game layouts. When that happens, you can actually see what they're publishing, what they're uploading in the Hub, and give them tips and pointers and track their progress. Next, we've put together a new resource for classroom activities, whether this is virtual or in the physical classroom, depending on when you're watching this video. As you can see, there are a ton of different ways that games can be built, and we've created a lot of examples, whether it is through just telling the facts for, say, a game about presidents, or environmental storytelling. So for example, this person has actually created a lung and had their character jumping through and explaining how pieces of that work. There's also ways to do somewhat of a multiple choice style game, what we call pick a path quiz. So in order to go the right way, you have to manipulate the orange blocks and answer the questions correctly to find the right path to end the game. And then, as I mentioned, of course, there's always the interactive book report. If you were to have a student read a story, and you wanted them to explain or demonstrate their knowledge of the story that they've just read, what better way to do that than to build a video game, adding story text, adding the hero, adding the enemies, the protagonist, the antagonist, things like that, creating story arcs around that, as opposed to just creating a drab, dull book report. Students don't typically want to do that, but when you ask them if they can build a video game around something that they just learned, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna be pretty happy to do that. Now, next, if you have a subscription, you actually have access to resources that are available to buy physically, like the workbook, but they're also available digitally in the Hub. So there is a student workbook, there is an educator handbook, and we have various other resources in the Hub, like activities and videos and things like that. If you want to buy the physical books, you can actually do that on our stores. They're great ways to create a catalyst for creativity, whether through storyboarding or writing out your ideas, or just ideating first on paper, then potentially moving to the boards and blocks, and then the digital aspect of it. Another resource is actually this channel. So this channel, we've recently started to pump with more content, whether it's about talking about updates or cool activities like integrating a Makey Makey with your Bloxels game, or getting inspiration through things like our Featured Friday, which are games made by our creators. And finally, we do get questions about platform support, and we get questions about people using Chromebooks or MacBooks or tablets or whatever. The app is actually available on iOS. It's also available in the Google Play Store, so you can download that on Android devices like tablets and phones, or on Chromebooks that support the Google Play Store. We also have a web builder, which is currently in beta, but it's fairly stable, and it's a great way to basically access the app from anywhere in a browser. Also, a new thing that we've actually been working on is we will have Mac OS support. So if you have MacBook Airs or MacBook Pros or anything like that, we will have a version of the app that's specific for Macs very, very soon. All right, guys, that was a short video, but we really appreciate you checking it out. There's all sorts of great resources and we'll continue to pump out more. So please subscribe to our channel to get updates on when we're gonna be putting out new content, as well as give us a like if you want. You could also leave us a comment on how you're using Bloxels for distance learning. There's a lot of cool ways that we've seen educators using it on Twitter, as well as on Instagram and on YouTube, and so we'd love to hear more. That's all we have for you guys today. We really appreciate you guys checking it out, and we will see you next time.